Yeah, very welcome from my side. I'm very happy to have my presentation here on our implementation of our holistic climate strategy. We developed in 2020. Just a short introduction of myself. Already done. I'm the head of CSR and Sustainable Finance at Evangelische Bank. I'm engaged with Evangelische Bank for 6 years now. Let's start with my agenda. I would like to present you the climate strategy in a global context. What is the reason why we developed this climate strategy as Evangelische Bank? What are the key drivers for it? And then the steps we have taken to develop it. Then in the end I will show you our climate strategy and the main objectives of it. Green investments as a few examples, what we did as a consequence of our climate strategy, and I'd like to give some final thoughts. Just as an early introduction to Evangelische Bank, because I missed the slide here on Evangelische Bank. I'm sure most of you might not know Evangelische Bank. It's a bank which was founded by the Protestant Church in Germany 50 years ago. It is the largest church-based bank, I'd say, in Germany. We have a balance sheet of about $8 billion, and we have about 434 employees. So we are not such a huge institution in Germany. We also have some subsidiaries, like an asset management daughter, which is focused on sustainability, and a real estate subsidiary, which is also has also a sustainability focus. And due to our strong foundation in Christian values and ethical values, we have this sustainability focus already a long time ago. So for us, the Paris Agreement, of course, was the reason why we started to think of having a climate strategy and think how we tackle this problem of climate change ourselves. How can we contribute to the climate goals? So we had a lot of discussions in the last years about it, and it ended up that we decided, well, we need a climate project. So we started this project in, the first discussion started in 2019, and then we really started the project at the beginning of 2020. And we finished the project by publishing our climate strategy. The climate strategy, the basis for it, the reason for it is not only the Paris Agreement, it's also aligned to the Paris Agreement. So we also have milestones for 2030 to reduce our emissions, and we also have the goal to achieve climate neutrality in 2050. So what were the main key drivers we had to developing this strategy? Yeah, we all know climate change and its consequences pose enormous challenges for society, for the economy, and also for politics. And the financial system can play an enormous role in this transformation. And we are aware of this responsibility the financial sector has. So we want to play our part. We would like to play our part in solving these global challenges. Of course, another reason was the increasing importance of climate change in societal and regulatory environment. So this was a reason for us as well, of course. And of course, it was a challenge. It is a challenge for all of us to get there, to limit the global temperature to well below 2 degrees or even to 1.5 degrees. So we only have, I heard, 6.5 years up, and the carbon budget for 1.5 degrees is over. So let's get started. And yeah, we need new solutions. So we decided we need products and services that can serve our customers and clients to tackle this problem as well and to accompany them in their transformation as well. So these are the main reasons why we decided to develop this holistic climate strategy and to play our role to tackle the challenges. The steps we have taken are, especially these 5 steps. At first, we asked our customers, what are your expectations? How can we support you in your transformation? What do you expect from us? A second step was a market and environmental analysis. What is best practice here? What are others doing? What could we do? What are the products? What are the solutions which are already in the market? Of course, we screened the regulatory environment in Germany, of course, on the European basis. We all know the Action Plan on Sustainable Finance, TCFD recommendations were also screened for us. And of course, we did a carbon footprint for all 3 scopes. If we want to reduce our emissions, we need to know where we are today. So we tried, and we honestly tried. We got there, really, but it was quite difficult. I have to admit that. We did our carbon footprint for scope 1, 2, and 3, and including the financed emissions of scope 3.15. So this was really a challenge for us, and I will tell you a bit more later. And of course, we screened the climate tools and ratings and also data which is available in the market, so to decide which are the tools with which we could work in the future. Our climate strategy has then 4 central objectives we defined. The first one is, as we are based on Christian values, the preservation of creation, of course. We have the societal responsibility in our group, and we want to actively support the transformation process. That's what is one of the main central objectives of this strategy. Of course, we want to create new business potential. We want to identify new business potential and offer attractive and target group specific, which is our target groups, products and services for our customers in all over the group of the Evangelische Bank. And what I didn't mention is, in the beginning when I told you about Evangelische Bank, we are really a specialized institution. Our main customers we have retail clients, yes, but we have especially churches or church-based institutions as clients on the one hand, but also healthcare and social sectors. So we have hospitals, elderly care homes, or services for elderly care, services for disabled people, schools, kindergarten, and this is what we have, especially on the loan portfolio side. So this is very specialized in contrast to a normal corporate portfolio. Another part of our objective is the climate risk management. So we want actively manage the risks which arise from physical and transitory risks of climate change, and we want to reduce our CO2 emissions and define science-based targets based on the Paris Agreement. That's what we did and defined, and we also defined some guiding principles for us. So the first one is climate neutrality. I think this is clear for everyone. Then that we need reduction targets. So to have these reduction targets, we need to know where we are. So that's the reason why we have had this carbon footprint as a starting point. Our customers are a guiding principle. So we want to be a competent and reliable partner for our customers, and be a competent partner relating to all topics concerned with climate change. Our business activities, we have the intention to systematically minimize the climate impact of our own business activities. That's a real challenge, I can tell you. And of course, risk management as another guiding principle, because it's one of our objectives, as I told you. And of course, we would like to report on it, and we decided to report by TCFD So in 2021, we had the first TCFD reporting. TCFD, for all who don't know it, it's the Task Force on Climate-Related Financial Disclosures. So they gave recommendations how you could do climate reporting. This is really ambitious for us, and we had to do the reporting for there are recommendations for organizations. Additionally, there are recommendations for banks, for asset owners, and for asset managers. So as an asset manager in our subsidiary and an asset owner as we are a bank, we had several challenges to tackle, and I can tell you we didn't manage to have a perfect TCFD reporting, but we got started, and we will further develop this report in the next years. So reducing CO2 emissions is one of our main objectives we have, and as I already said, it was a big challenge, a huge challenge for us to have the CO2 emissions measured. Scope 1 and 2, this is not the problem, but the business model lies in Scope 3 for every institution and for us as well. So Scope 3.15, the loan and the asset management portfolio, the investment portfolio, was a big challenge. We used the PCAF standard, the Partnership for Carbon Accounting Financials, to get managed here, but we realized, especially on the loan portfolio side, it's really difficult to have these data points in our systems, and we didn't have it for a large number of our assets. As I said, we have a lot of hospitals, elderly care homes, services for disabled people, which means we have a lot of real estate and mortgages in our portfolio, and we didn't have all these energy efficiency data points or CO2 emissions of the buildings behind these financings in our system. We have them in our documents of the loans, but we didn't have them in our system. Not, in the essence, we would have needed to really calculate a reliable Scope 3 emission. But we managed it by with our partner. I'm missing the word, but they didn't have all the loan portfolio, but they had informations on every sector and specific financings of the sector, and so they could scale it and calculate the emissions based on it. But as we realized, we have really a huge problem. We need to document and to have our systems filled with all these data points so that we can really measure our Scope 3.15. And at the end of it, we defined science-based targets for all our Scope 1, 2, and 3 emissions. We try to get there in the next years. And to manage that, apart from the strategy, we also defined a climate program with about more than 40 activities that we will have to implement and in the next 3 years. This is what we intend to do. And what I can tell you as well is it was interesting to see that Scope 1 and 2 and all Scope 3 emissions, apart from Scope 3.15, only make up 1% of all of our emissions. 99% of the emissions is in Scope 3.15. So this is this is the problem. This is where the business model is, and where we need to have our reductions in the future. So some examples, what happened after we had this climate strategy. As I said, we developed some activities and a climate program which we wanted to implement in the next years. And one activity was to have an impact-oriented investment universe with an ecological focus. The impact universe, we had such an exclusion criteria or such an impact universe already before, but this is one with an ecological focus, and it works as we say, we exclude all companies that violate our value base. As I said, we are based on ethical and Christian values, so we have a strong value base, and companies which violate this value base, such as the controversial weapons or something like that, are excluded from the universe. In a second step, we exclude all companies that have a negative impact on the SDGs, on the Sustainable Development Goals. The reason here is that we say all companies that have a significant negative impact on the Sustainable Development Goals don't contribute to a sustainable development in the end. So that's why we exclude them from our investment universe. And then in a third step, we focus on those who are real ecological ESG champions in any way, and which we define have a positive impact on the SDGs, have a positive impact on the Paris Agreement or on climate mitigation, and who actively support the transformation. So this is really a very focused investment universe, which we defined for specific products. Another thing we expanded in with our climate strategy was renewable energy financings on the one hand, but also on the other hand, investment funds. We have in our asset management daughter or subsidiary, we have a real asset department, and they have funds who invest in solar PV and in wind power plants in Europe, and we also have investments in the developing countries. So what we think in as far as the developing countries is concerned, all over there where we can build wind power plants or solar PV, there won't be a coal power plant. So this is a good thing, and we like to support their transformation, deliver know-how over there. So yeah, that's what we do. What we also did is, that's what I wanted to show. It's the next slide. As I said, one of our guidelines is to be a competent partner for our clients and customers. And so we also want to provide not only products, but know-how and information on climate change and climate risk management. So we have this climate poster, which was also developed in 2020. And if you like, you can order it for free on our website. So please feel free to order it. It's on English and in English and German available. So just to provide knowledge, to help our clients understand what happens in terms of climate change. Yeah, just some final thoughts I'd like to share with you. In our opinion, the financial sector has a lot of potential to support and lead the transformation to a more climate-friendly, resource-saving and fair economy. That was the intention of our whole holistic climate strategy, to take on the responsibility we have and to tackle the global challenges which are ahead, and to support the transformation of society and of our clients, to be a competent partner for them. And I can tell you, the world transforms and we transform, and also our climate strategy already transforms. We already have a new version of it, so yeah. We try to go ahead and forward, and yeah, let's start.